When the boss leaves, don't complain. When the boss enters, don't rise. This one colleague will always get you into trouble. And before you can say anything, he will always be the first to stab you in the back. The most dangerous enemy isn't the one who attacks you openly. It's the one who smiles and nods beside you. In the game of power, these are the pawns that look harmless until they trap you, sacrificing your position for their own gain. Picture this. You're at work. Some colleagues gather around the coffee machine. One starts slagging off the boss. You overhear some of it. They invite you in. They want to hear your take. Don't you think the boss is useless too? And in that moment, you speak your mind. You vent. You let your guard down. The next day, the story flips. That same colleague says, "You know who said the boss was incompetent? You did." The very words they baited out of you are now turned into allegations. The person who posed as a friend has now become your enemy. They worked as a spy. And whether it's in the office or on the chessboard, pawns move forward as if they're loyal foot soldiers. But when positioned carefully, they can trap the queen, cut off the knight, or even expose the king. Pawns look harmless, but their power is in sacrifice. They will burn you if it gets them closer to promotion. That is exactly what that colleague just did. They sacrificed you to advance themselves. This tactic plays out through several laws of power. Law 10, pose as a friend, work as a spy. They masked as an ally to extract your truth. Your honesty became their weapon. Law 5, conceal your intentions. You break this law when you reveal too much. In power, what you think is never as important as what you conceal. Law 6, always say less than necessary. A single careless word is enough to build an accusation. The less you say, the less can ever be used against you. In fact, someone who baits you into a trap rarely does so by being forthcoming. If they're trying to conceal something, you should be suspicious of them. Why are they laying all their cards out on the table? Perhaps they want you to see only what they want you to see. In any case, there are ways to protect yourself from such traps. Law 7, guard your reputation. Once words are twisted, reputation becomes your shield. If you've built respect and loyalty elsewhere, smears fall flat. Law 14, keep your hands clean. Notice how that colleague acted. They made you look like the villain while they stayed spotless. You must learn to do the same. Never give others the chance to stain your hands with their schemes. In ancient courts, this tactic destroyed generals, advisors, and ministers. Enemies rarely struck openly. They whispered, they baited, they let their rivals destroy themselves with their own words. Even Machiavelli warned, never speak your full mind, especially when others invite you to criticize those in power. For the ear that listens may be the mouth that betrays. So how do you defend yourself? First, use neutral responses. When colleagues bait you into criticism, answer with silence, a shrug, or a neutral phrase. Let them reveal themselves. Never reveal yourself. Second, mirror their words. Instead of agreeing, bounce their claims back. Interesting you feel that way. It forces them to own their statements instead of pinning them on you. Third, guard your reputation elsewhere. Build alliances with people of influence, so when accusations come, others know your true character. Fourth, if you've already spoken your mind and been betrayed, don't defend wildly, stay calm. It sounds like my words were misunderstood. What I said was, silence and calmness rebuild authority, while panic confirms guilt. Now imagine you're playing a game of chess. You're focused on the knight threatening your queen. Suddenly the pawn moves. Not to attack you directly, but after sacrificing itself to expose your king. Colleagues who vent about the boss aren't always allies. They're either venting for real or setting you up. They listen because they need to collect information. They want to know where you stand, what you think. They're playing the long game. What you say becomes their weapon. They play spy, not friend. If you understand this, you'll stop speaking your mind too freely to those who smile beside you. And when you spot the pawn moving towards your king, you can't ignore it. Now, checkmate is rare in chess, but when a checkmate happens, there is no undo button. So here's a question for you. Are you still speaking your mind to those who smile beside you? Or are you guarding your words until it's your turn to play? Remember, In the game of power, the pawn's trap is the most dangerous when it comes from someone who pretends to be a friend. Until next time, stay sharp and keep checking.